I know for a fact that I'm bad with Pokemon. Well, competitively. I've always loved Pokemon growing up, and even when all of my friends back then decided that they aren't interested on this childish game anymore, my opinions aren't the same as theirs. Going back to Pokemon Champions, over the years I concluded that competitive Pokemon is just out of my league, and I still remember how my brain hurts back in 2013 to 2017 every time I try to follow the mechanics of how it's played. So I never really touched it.
Keeping both in, Rock Slide coming out from Tyranitar, gonna have to hope for a flinch onto that Garchomp. It looks like we do see some small damage on both. Draco Meteor from Jody onto that Pachirisu. Probably originally targeted for that Garchomp, will connect, will deal some good damage, but we've already seen not enough.
Genuinely, I just love to battle NPCs, that's all. Over the years, the BGC scene has grown so much that it's too bright for me to ignore it anymore. And when they announced Pokemon Champion on last year's Pokemon Presents and seeing how Wolpy reacts on it,
what is this? Wait, it's BGC! They're playing doubles! Pokemon... Mega? Terra? Same game? Wait, hold on. Also, that looks amazing. Wait, that's not gonna be actual game footage, right? That looks really good. Why is there Megas and Terras in the same game? It's Showdown!
I know I gotta lock in. My love for Pokemon is second to none. Personally, I don't have the money or resources to buy actual Pokemon games and Nintendo Switch. Well, because I came from a poor country which is Philippines. So the fact that it's coming out on mobile is big for me. Of course, even if I haven't bought the games, it still didn't stop me from preparing for Pokemon Champions on my own means. I play Pokemon Go, and as you can see, this is all the Pokemon I collected through Go and the global trading system of Pokemon Home. I know, right now as I'm writing this script, I realized that I overdid the preparation pace. So fast forward to the future, it's only 1 week before Pokemon Champions will be released on Nintendo Switch, and with all my preparations and all the knowledge I've gained throughout the months of watching Wolpy's videos, getting inspired by the story of Ray Rizzo, I know I can be considered a casual, mediocre player now. Much to my surprise, when I took the first team that I ever built, I actually got complemented by another player. It consisted of Mega Gengar as a core for my Perish Trap. I paired it with Grimmsnarl to make Gengar bulkier with Light Screen and Reflect, Sinistcha for redirection and healing support with its ability Hospitality, and to wrap it up, Incineroar to soften the damage of hard-hitting physical Pokemon. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that a simple complement can really impact my BGC journey, but it did. It made me think that maybe I can strive to be the very best as well. So here's the entire gameplay of that match. It's my first game and you can clearly see my inability and how good my opponent is. In turn 3, I used a prankster parting shot on a dark type Tyranitar, and in the early turns he got me really dancing on the palm of his hands. I got cheeky with switch here and there, but I'm still behind. My opponent predicts me correctly, but on turn 6, a good protect on Gengar turned the tides around. We dance, pretty much. And on turn 8, I got to paralyze his Gengar, which is massive because now I can outspeed it with my own Gengar. He made a bad switch on turn 9 and I capitalized on it. On turn 11, my Sinistcha got killed without getting anything in return, but on turn 12, I returned the favor by KOing his Gengar. From there, everything is just a sweep. Last night when I'm doing my devotion for God, I realized that Mega Garchomp C is actually good. It has sheer force and it doesn't have to worry about Intimidate since it's a special attacker. Also, it can defeat King Gambit and Arcalodon easily, which is the top dog of this format. I built it with Alolan Ninetales for bulk of Aurora Bill, but also because there's so much Weather Wars in this format. Volcarona as a Tailwind supporter, There's also a lot of Tailwind user in this format, so I want to nullify it by having my own. But really, my objective is to have 2 fire types so that my Garchomp who is weak to ice and Ninetales who struggles with steel type can somehow manage to fool their own weight. And Meowscarada because I don't like size spam and I can't defeat Dondozo without it. So far, I only have 5 Pokemon, but I won games after games with this team and eventually become the top 477 on the ladder. Garchomp C is just so good that I even have a game where I thought I'm going to lose. But Nasty Plat Sheer Force is just too much for my opponent to handle. If we go back a few turns in this match, they were in a trick room setup but my team single-handedly defeated them and made their setup useless. Honestly, as a beginner, now is probably the best time to try out competitive Pokemon. There's just so many players that will be in your skill level when champions released. I have the inferiority complex of thinking people who started BGC first will dominate this game, but how will I ever be good if I don't start now? I honestly want to catch up to them, to reach their level. That's why I spend the entire year learning about this competitive game, preparing for champions so that I can also have a chance at the title of becoming the very best like no one ever was.